once again, class 9th CBSE. The same lesson, that is nature of matter. What all ever we learn in this lesson are matter, anything which occupies space and having some masses of matter. According to the broad classification, there are two types of matters are there. One is called the pure substance and one is called the impure. Pure substance, again, pure substance are the substance made up of only one type of the atom or only one type of the substance. There are two types of the pure substances are there. One is called the element and another one is called the compound. That is all. Now we are going to move towards the impure substance. Impure substance. The substance which is made up of more than one type of substance, but they are not in the fixed proportion. They are contained there. Self-identity and all these properties contained in the impure substance. Impure substances are also called mixture. So what we have to study in this topic, actually we have to complete the chemical classification of matter. Physically, matter classified into solid, liquid and gas. But chemically, the matter is classified into three parts, that is called the elements, compounds and mixture. Today we are going to discuss about the mixture. What is mixture? It is impure substance. Impure substance, it means when two or more substances, that is elements or compounds, mix together at any proportion and where the constituents do not lose their identity. They are called the mixture. What is the peculiarity which is present in the mixture? Mixture is an impure substance. How it is formed? Mixture is an impure substance. It is impure substance which is formed by combination of two or more substances, such as the two or more elements or compounds, formed by combination of two or more substances. And what is the substances here? Combination of two or more substances, and that is elements and compounds. Various elements and compounds combine together to form mixture. And what is the importance of that? They are mixed together at any proportion. Which is formed by combination of two or more substances at any proportion. As you see in the proportion. As you see in the compound combine together, but it is compulsory that they have to combine in a fixed proportion. But here proportion is not the constant one. So what is the mixture? It is an impure substance which is formed by the combination of two or more elements or compounds, and they are combined not in the fixed proportion. The proportion is not definite or indefinite proportion is there. And what the important thing is that the constituent elements do not lose their identity. The identity of the constituent elements is remain there in the mixture. So what is the mixture? It is a impure substance which is formed by combination of two or more substances that is the elements and compounds, at any proportion. Proportion is not fixed, and also the constituent elements do not lose their property. And constituent element is element by which it is formed. Elements do not lose their property. The property of the element remains there. Lose their property. Okay. One of the best example of the mixture is, for example, air. Okay. Air is the best example of mixture. But before going to air, let us remind one thing which we eat in our home, which we call mixture. Are you remember what is the mixture is? In Hindi we call it choda at the time of the festival, especially at the time of the Diwali. In our home, the chuda is made, but we are purchasing it from the market. Now, what is the constituent of that mixture? It contain lot of type of the sev, barik sev, long sev, gathia, then mungfali, that groundnut is there, poha, different type of poha, fried, that one of the is the cello fried or deep fried. Then lots of the papdi is there, then chena is there, some matar is there. So all the components combined together to form a mixture. ओके, लेट अस सपोज मैंने आपके सामने एक मिक्सचर का प्लेट रखा, एज माय नेचर सबसे पहले मुझे जो चीज दिखाई देता है दैट इज द मूंगफली, द ग्राउंडनट. इफ आई टेक द ग्राउंडनट एंड ईट, द टेस्ट ऑफ द ग्राउंडनट इज रिमेन देयर. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि मैं ग्राउंडनट खाऊंगी और मुझे सेव का टेस्ट आएगा, मैं सेव खाऊंगी और मुझे पोहे का टेस्ट आएगा, मैं पोहा खाऊंगी और उसमें से मुझे किसी और चीज का टेस्ट आएगा. So that is the mixture. Mixture is composed of many substances, but the property of the constituent element does not lose in that composition. First thing. Second thing, कभी आपके साथ ऐसा हुआ went to one shop, मिठाई वाला shop and told he give the 1 power half kg of the mixture. Okay, what is the protein to follow it? Yes, different cabinets are there. In one cabinet they put some gathia, then one in groundnut, one the sev, or different type of the. He is simply taking the substance and put in the mixing part. It is not counted कि for half of the kg मेरे को 10 मूंगफली डालना है, 2 गाठिया डालना है, 70 मुझे पोहा डालना है, ये वाला सेव 50 डालना है. वो ऐसा काउंट करता है? नो. अगर उसमें कुछ कम ज्यादा है देन ऑल्सो इट्स कॉल्ड द मिक्सचर. The best example of the mixture in scientific way that is the air. You know very well what is air. Air is the composed of, air is composed of various substances. Composed of first nitrogen, okay, second oxygen, third carbon dioxide, then okay, third we write argon. Argon is noble gas. Must remember we have studied in the element section. Argon is a noble gas. Then carbon dioxide and rest of the different substances. Rest of the particular substances. Okay, this is the composition of air. Okay, roughly percentage of nitrogen is 78, percentage of oxygen is 21, percentage of argon is 0.9 and percentage of carbon dioxide is 0.03. Okay, but when you studied about the weather report, the percentage of this oxygen, carbon dioxide and all the things is up and down everywhere. Every time there is no need to measure the composition of the air. We know that air consists of all this substance. The roughly proportion is like this. That is not a fixed one. अगर एयर में 21 की जगह 19 ऑक्सीजन भी है तो दैट इज कंसिडर्ड एज एयर. अगर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड 0.03 की जगह 0.3 है देन ऑल्सो कंसिडर्ड एज एयर. So proportion is not fixed in the combination of the mixture. The proportion is varied. Okay, first thing. Second thing, you know that carbon dioxide is incombustible gas and oxygen is a combustible gas. फिर भी जब आप कोई चीज जलाते हो it catches fire because oxygen shows property at that time carbon dioxide is not showing their property. It means the property of the constituent elements remain there. They do not lose their property. The air is the best example for the mixture. So what is mixture? Mixture is a impure substance which is composed of elements and compounds, and these elements and compounds combine together at any proportion. The proportion is not fixed, and also it is important they do not lose their properties. Okay. Now what are the properties of the mixture? First we studied about the property, then we move towards the types of the mixture. Properties. Whatever the properties which are present in the mixture. Mixture, as I told you, it may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. Okay? It may be homogeneous, or heterogeneous. Okay, that is the nature of the mixture. In the classification section, we have to study about the homogeneous and heterogeneous. So I left it here. So mixture may be homogeneous or heterogeneous in nature. The composition of the mixture is not fixed; it is variable. The composition constituent element of constituent element are not fixed. It is indefinite. Not fixed means it is indefinite. And it is variable. And variable too. Okay? It is varied from time to time. And that is the mixture. That is the nature of the mixture. Okay. Mixture do not have definite melting and boiling point because lots of the substances are there. And each substance has its own melting and boiling point. So, next is the mixture do not have fixed melting and boiling point. Melting and boiling point. As we see in the air, oxygen is there. The melting and boiling point of oxygen is different. Nitrogen is there. The melting and boiling point of nitrogen is different. So all the constituents have their own melting and boiling point. So mixture has no fixed melting and the boiling point. Next is the constituent element which is present in a mixture do not lose their property. It means it has their own property. Constituent elements have their own property. As I told you, oxygen is the supporter of the combustion, and oxygen, the substance combusts very well in the atmosphere in the presence of air. Carbon dioxide do not create any problem for that. So all the constituent elements have their own property. Next, it is not formed by the chemical process. Okay, that is the important thing. Mixture is a simple arrangement of the element and the compound. It is not formed by the chemical as a result of the chemical process. So it is not formed by chemical process. So it is very much easy to separate all the components of mixture by any physical method. It is not formed by the chemical process. It means it can be easily separated by physical method. So it can be easily separated by any physical method. Okay, we are easily separated. Okay, that is not impossible. It is possible to separate easily by any physical method. Okay, you do one thing in the home. You take one steel glass, put some ice cubes in that, fill the glass with the ice cube, and kept it on your center table. After few minutes, you saw there are lots of water is collected outside the glass. Okay, or water droplets is present on the glass. Why the droplets came and why the water is present there? Because the cold ice cube attracts all the moisture which is present in the atmosphere and collected it. So we are easily separate the moisture or the water from the atmosphere. So it is easily separated by any physical process. So that are the properties of the mixture. We have to compare the property of compound and mixture. Okay, next class we must compare it with relation to properties of these two. Before that, we have to move to a different type of the mixture. So what you have to do? You have to take two glasses of the glass. Okay, put one cup water in both the glasses. Let us suppose these are the two glasses. This is one and this is one. We are giving the simple name, this glass A and this glass B. Take 1 cup of water in both the glasses. Same amount it must be there. Okay. Then what you have to do? Put some sugar in both the glasses. Okay. We must put 1 spoon of the sugar here, 1 spoon of the sugar. Then you have to shake it, mix it well. Put 1 spoon of sugar here, mix it well. Again, you have to put 1 more spoon of the sugar here and mix it well. Again, 1 more spoon of sugar, mix it well. Then you put 3rd spoon of the sugar here only. You must see that some sugar granules are settled in the bottom. Some sugar granules are settled in the bottom. But there is no sugar granule here. Okay. Here all the sugar is dissolved, but here because we have put more sugar as compared to this, so here the sugar granule is deposited in the water. This is the sugar. Sugar granule is deposited in the water. That is the difference in the mixture. Okay. There are two types of mixture. Okay, types of mixture. There are two types of mixture. One is called homogeneous and one is called heterogeneous. Homogeneous mixture. The second is called heterogeneous mixture. So there are two types of mixture. One is called homogeneous and one is called the heterogeneous. And what is the homogeneous mixture? Homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture both are the combination of two or more substances. But in homogeneous mixture, the components combine throughout the mixture. They are not seen in that mixture. Here, no sugar granules are there. This is also the sweet water. This is also the sweet water. What is the difference between these two? Here, the sugar granule is not visible. Although the sugar granule is present in that water, but not visible. If it is not visible, it means it is a homogeneous combination. Okay, so this part is called the homogeneous. This mixture is called the homogeneous mixture. But what happened here? Here, the sugar granule which is dissolved in that, it is easily visible, so it is called the heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so there are two types of mixture. One is called the homogeneous, one is called the heterogeneous. So how we define the homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture? Homogeneous mixture or a mixture is said to be homogeneous if it has the same constituent, same composition throughout the mixture. Okay, a mixture said to be homogeneous if the composition of substance is same throughout the solution or throughout the preparation. Okay, if the constituent is same throughout the solution or sample, then it is called homogeneous. But if this substance is deposited in bottom, if we are able to see it with the help of our eye, then it is called a heterogeneous mixture. So what is heterogeneous mixture? A mixture is said to be heterogeneous if it consists the substance of different composition and that is easily visible by our eye. Okay, so what is a heterogeneous mixture? A mixture is said to be heterogeneous when if the composition or the constituent substance the substance which we added in that, the substance which is present in that, the composition or the constituent substance have different composition. If the composition of constituent substance is different. In other words, we may say that, or it is visible by our eye. Okay, then it is called the heterogeneous mixture. So there are two types of mixture. One is called the homogeneous mixture and one is called the heterogeneous mixture. For example, see what we are taken here. This is a sugar solution in which, or salt solution in which the sugar is completely dissolved. Okay, So this is the example. For example, completely dissolved, completely dissolved sugar solution. Okay, here example is that incomplete dissolved, incompletely, incompletely dissolved sugar solution, dissolved sugar solution. Lots of other examples are also there. Mud water or muddy water, muddy water. You are easily see the mud in the water, or chalk powder and water, chalk powder and water, sand and water. This all are called the heterogeneous mixture. Some more example for the homogeneous mixture. One interesting example is the carbonated, carbonated, carbonated substance, carbonated water. What is the carbonated water? It's called the soda water, soda water, or your cold drink, cold drink. All are the example of the homogeneous mixture because the constituent elements are not visible. The constituent element which is present in that is not visible. So carbonated water, soda water, cold drink, all are the example of the homogeneous mixture. What is the mixture? It is a composition of two or more substances. They combine in any proportion. Proportion is not fixed, and the constituent element have their own properties. There are two types of the mixture, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous, if the substance dissolves completely and we are unable to identify whatever the substance is present in that, then it is called the homogeneous. And if we are able to separate the substance which is present in that, that is called the heterogeneous. Okay, so that is about the mixture. In next class, we must have studied about the solution, solvent, and then difference between the compound and mixture, and why any substance is called mixture or any substance is called the compound.